Do you know how to use an EDC, or what's called an everyday carry? Because if you're bringing a weapon to a fight, you better be trained. Stay tuned, I'll teach you a little bit about it. Okay, everyday carries, okay? Typically known in the world as EDCs, right? A LARPer's wet dream, right? A chance to use their super sweet weapon, okay? Guru Joe Hungar, okay, he made this one. I really, really like it. It's super simple, it's nice. Those are the things I love in my life. So legally, are you allowed to use them? Probably not. Okay. The issue actually comes into you can carry them, but you can't use them in a self-defense situation. Now that's going to depend on things that you do or do not know about the law, and each country, each state are all going to have their own laws. Okay. So we are using this today as if we are in a country or state that allows me to carry something and allows me to use it, okay? Real quick, what I'm gonna say is at some point, Chris I seen was maybe packing. Maybe it's just his belly, maybe it's his gun, I don't really know, but for whatever reason, I just don't feel safe. Maybe I seen that he had a knife on him. So he's getting up in my face, I'm feeling threatened. Is this justification for me to pull out my weapon? I can't give you a hard yes or no here, guys. I'm going to tell you what I would do because I have different rules of engagement. If I'm by myself and I don't have any weapons and I suspect he has a weapon, I'm running. Number one thing, good self-defense is that. Number two thing, because of all my years of training, and this is what sucks for me, is if I have training and I hurt him and go to jail, right? Or sorry, I hurt him and I go to court and the judge is like, hey, like you have so much training, you should have been able to handle that situation using your hands only and not having to access a weapon. That's actually what I will do if I'm by myself. And I know that some of you guys are like, that's BS. I agree with you. If I'm with my family though, and I need to guarantee their safety, my family knows and I know that I'm okay going to jail if I had to use a weapon, as long as they're safe. So that's kind of a little dive into my world of my rules of engagement. I don't care if you agree with them. I don't care if you disagree with them. This is my life. This is my choice. Okay. So with that being said, we're in a bad situation. Okay. If I'm pulling a weapon out, number one, I better be highly trained in it, because typically what happens is when you bring a weapon into a fight and you're not trained with it, that weapon is typically used against you. Okay, so nice solid death grip on here. The top end here can be used. Can I strike this way with it? Yes, but you can see is it going to hurt a lot? Maybe not so much because it's not protruding so far out, especially if you have larger hands like myself. This is definitely meant to hit. Okay, if you have zero training, you should have some, like I just said. But if you have zero training, hammer fist style motions are very, very natural, right? It's kind of like 8-man syndrome, just hit and hit and hit and hit. This is a natural motion, not because you're lonely Friday nights, but just because that's how your body is built. A lot of people aren't trained to throw punches properly, but this feels good. And if you swung a hammer before, you can probably do some damage. So where do we typically see that? I put my hands up. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. He throws a big hook punch at me. I block it and I just start smashing. And this is where it's very interesting in the world of martial arts, because they're like, okay, well, we don't want to hit his face because that could kill him. Okay, so we're going to target the collarbone instead. So I'm going to break his collarbone and I hit his collarbone. It's going to stop the fight. That's no. I completely disagree. Do you know why? Because I've seen a fight where a guy was put into an armbar. His arm snapped completely backwards. He popped his arm back in and knocked Buddy out with that same arm. He was only drunk. He's not on drugs. He's not on PCP. He's not even like crazy. He's just a little mental in the head because he's been in quite a few fights. So for me, if I'm pulling the weapon out, I'm doing damage. That's my goal, is to eliminate the threat. I hope I don't kill him. I don't want to murder anybody in my life. So when he throws at me and I'm hitting here, if he's still fighting, I'm still going. But the second he backs away and moves away and covers his body up, this is when I should stop engaging. I don't need to, at this point, continue to just inflict my will and do all these things on him until he's a bloody pulp on the ground. That's when you're probably going to get in trouble, especially if somebody is filming you. And a lot of people, when they see fights these days, what's the first thing they do? They don't get involved. They don't call 911. They pull out their phone. They're like, yo, check out what's happening online. Option number one, I had a really good guard. It was straight up. That forced a circular attack. Okay, so there's a little bit of mindset for you. Option two, okay, my hands are down. So I'm pulling it out of my pocket. And while that happens, he fires a jab at me. My holy shit block engages. Okay, when that happens, he's also trained to fire a cross punch. Boom, I cleared. For those of you guys who don't know the holy shit block, watch my other videos. I'm going to bring it to you real quick here. So I block, protecting myself. I turn my body, and I bring this one out there. If he doesn't fire that punch, this would just smash and hit. But I never rely on my weapon to just do the job. This requires a ton of training. If you don't have this training, don't try this. You could block it. The block works really well. So I'm here, I'm hitting the face, and then I'm throwing another hit. Okay, that's my goal. Look at this. What is this built for? It's built for an awesome, badass hook punch. So if we look what I've done, I've hammer fist striked him in the nose because there's no defense right now. I've hit my overhand punch. I've hit him again. He's still standing still. He needs more. The hook punch comes in. That was perfect. That was like right behind the jaw. I wasn't even going for that, but like that's money. If you hit that, that's going to hook on that mandible, and that's just going to mess him up good. Okay. If he turns this way, that could catch an eye, that can catch an ear, that can catch something. So what I like about this tool is I can just think about throwing my hammer fist overhand hook punch, which is a combo I train with Mitros all the time, and it's going to feel quite natural to me. So he really wanted to get that other hand involved. Might as well talk about that. Switch stance. So he fires that jab. He fires that cross. Look, now my hammer fist is blocked. So I can't hit him anymore with that initial strike. His elbow is bent. The energy is closer to him. I'm going to do what's called a Pak-Sao. I Pak-Sao and now I hit. After I hit with that, I can hit with him again and come back with that hook punch. So we can see it works really well. Let's say again, he fires, but now he punches and his energy is strong enough, it turns me. So it turns from here. I can come up and just bring that in right away. But I don't like doing that because I'm not controlling it. So I need my left hand to be involved. So this is how I do it. I go 1, 2, and I pull. Now I have a hook on here. I can come across. Everyone's like, what if he defends? Defend, defend, defend. Perfect. I smash him with this. This is what's hard about EDC, or especially when you guys are carrying a knife or something like that. We get fixated on the knife and only the knife, when this hand needs to be involved a lot more than you think. So especially when carrying an EDC, carry something that you know well, right? You put a knife in a boxer's hands, they're dangerous, right? You put an EDC in somebody's hands that knows how to train, they're going to be dangerous if they don't get fixated on just that one weapon. I'll show you another one I like to do. His guard is up. I'm going to clear the guard out of the way. Pak-Sao. This hand comes up and goes to strike. He loves defending because he's scared. Because that sucks. That would hurt, right? Imagine that hit. That hits, this hits. I go back to hitting, right? If you box, this tool is super nice because, yeah, it doesn't feel. Look at his face. He's like, that sucks. I'm not even touching him with my fist. I'm just hitting him with there. Like, that could do some real damage, okay? So again, his hands are up. He blocks this time. The second he blocks, this hand comes up, clears. I go back for the hammer fist to hit him. Again, hammer fist hits, overhand hits, hook punch hits. He blocks that. Perfect. I come back in and I strike. So we're doing what's called trapping right there. Hands are up. I don't know where his hands are. I know exactly where his hands are. So I'm here, right? And we fight a little. So we're fighting. We're doing fight more, fight more, fight more. I'm here. Oh, look. Yeah, wasn't that nice? I got into a clinch compared to throwing an elbow. I take that. I dig that in. I throw the elbow to hit. I come back to here. I drive a knee, right? And I just dig that into the spine. Is it going to work? Maybe. There's all these pressure points all over the body. We have the trigeminal nerve, we have hypoglossal here, mandibular angle here. So we have all these different things, right? And they're called pain compliance techniques. So if you have like a Kobo or something like this, and you put pressure into there, like it doesn't feel nice. Obviously, a piece of metal is getting shoved in your face, but what if they're on PCP or they're drunk? Their pain tolerance is super high. So if you rely that this technique is going to work and it fails you, he's going to bite your face or he's going to do something perfect. Elbow him instead. There are a lot of different techniques that you can use when you have something like this. Okay. Check out my videos to learn how to use them, or don't carry it unless you're highly trained. Stay safe out there.